Hi, it's Perry. This time we took a short trip to the Saigawa River that runs through Nagano Prefecture. We did trout spey on one of the best rivers on the main island of Japan and stayed at a traditional onsen ryokan. This video will surely make you want to travel to Japan. The Saigawa River runs through Nagano Prefecture and is one of the best trout spey rivers in Japan. We traveled the upper reaches of the Saigawa River in episode 6. Check out that video if you like. And now, we are going to the lower reaches of the river. The lower reaches of the river flows through the deep mountains of Nagano, tearing through the mountains. There are many bedrocks and few riverbanks. This is in contrast to the upper reaches, where the flow changes every year due to heavy rainfall. In most places in Honshu Island, Shikoku Island, and Kyushu Island, the trout season is from March to the end of September. But here, in the lower reaches of the Saigawa River, you can do fishing all year round. So if you come to Hakuba Village for skiing in winter, you can ski in the morning and enjoy trout spey in the afternoon. From Hakuba Village to the lower reaches of the Saigawa River is only 31 kilometers, 40 minutes drive. Or if you are coming here from Tokyo, it takes about 1.5 hours from Tokyo to Nagano City by Shinkansen train and 30 minutes by car from there. If you are driving from Tokyo, it takes 3 hours by expressway. And if you are not comfortable fishing alone on an unfamiliar Japanese river, you can hire a guide. There are several guides on this river, and they will entertain you the way you want to fish, besides trout spey. In early summer, the Saigawa River flows slowly through the mountains covered with fresh green. The sound of the rapids, the chirping of birds, and the voices of insects. Here you can listen to the symphony of Japanese nature. As a summer conductor, a 4 to 6 weight spey or switch rod is suitable for your tact. Flies should be seasonally appropriate. From early summer to fall, I recommend wet flies with a number 4 to 10 hook. Of course, you can use streamer flies of any kind. There are many aquatic insects and small fish in the river. Frankly, any fly that can maintain the correct posture in the water will do. You can fish for rainbow and brown trout in this river. Brown trout are completely wild. Some rainbow trout are wild, and some are stocked. The inn stands right in front of a long run. You can walk to the riverbank and fish before breakfast, or if you have an early dinner, you can swing a fly afterwards. Sagirisu. It is a purely Japanese-style inn. In Japan, this type of inn is called an onsen ryokan, which is a Japanese-style inn with hot springs. You can wash off your sweat from summer fishing, or warm up your frozen body from winter fishing. The rooms are spacious and classic style, with tatami mats and futons. By the way, if you stay at this inn in summer, you should reserve a room on the second floor, if possible. Of course, if there is no room on the second floor, you can stay on the first floor, but I recommend you to stay on the second floor. I like this inn so much that I often stay here when I fish on this river. It began to rain. The Japanese rainy season, known as Suyu, had begun. Usually, the rain at the beginning of this season is quiet. The downpour temperature drops, and it is chilly. Toward the latter half of the day, the humidity and temperatures get higher and higher, and the downpours increase. Too much rain makes the river muddy, but rain is usually an angler's best friend. Mayflies and caddis were intermittently hatching. There were no rises, but many trout were probably eating in the water. He stood on the river with a 6-weight, 12.8 feet Spey rod and a DT line setup. The DT line is 8-weight for single-handers. He doesn't shoot, so he repeats the cast in a constant rhythm like a conductor. You can see many paintings by artists related to Nagano Prefecture in Sagirisu, and many photos of sheep. In fact, the road that runs along the lower reaches of the Saigawa River is called the Jingisukan Road. Jingisukan is lamb and mutton yakiniku. Cotton sheep originally flourished in this area. After the cotton sheep industry died out, more and more Jingisukan restaurants were opened to continue the sheep culture. You can also enjoy lamb and mutton yakiniku at the restaurant of Sagariso. Moreover, here you can eat Suffolk lamb raised in Japan, which is very rare. Early summer night. Open the window, and you can listen to the chorus of frogs. Outside this ryokan is the scenery of the Japanese countryside, a symphony of frogs, insects, and the sound of the river. It's very dark outside because there are few streetlights, but I strongly recommend a night walk. There is a flavor of the Japanese countryside that can't be experienced in Tokyo or Kyoto. Well, our short trip in early summer is almost over. From the end of May to June, trout fishing is at its peak, not only in the Saigawa River, but all over Japan from north to south. So if fly fishing is the main event of your trip to Japan, I strongly recommend you to come during this time. You will catch trout in every part of the country. But if fly fishing is not the main purpose of your trip, or if you are traveling in Japan in winter, a day or two of fishing here on the lower Saigawa River would be a good choice. Wishing you a great time fly fishing in Japan.